Right, so I'm here with Donnie. He's obviously dressed as Gambit. So can you tell me a little bit about what inspired you to dress as Gambit?
Oh, that's real easy. I love the character of Gambit. This cosplay is very special to me. I've been working on it, and I will continue to upgrade it and build different versions of this character. I love cards very much. I play cards. Everything to do with cards I'm obsessed with. So that came with that, and did some martial arts and taekwondo and stuff. And the bow staff I was always like my favorite weapon. So it just kind of came natural as a while. And then growing up watching the X-Men series and a little bit with comic books as I got older, eventually being an entertainer, I decided to try out cosplay. And of course, this is a character that I wanted to do very, very much so. It wasn't my first character, but it was definitely, this is a kind of a dream cosplay for me. So that's how it is there.
Cool. So you said you've been kind of working on it for a while and upgrading it. How long have you been working on this cosplay?
Wow, actually, I'm impressed with myself. I know it sounds really arrogant, but I only started cosplaying about 6 months ago. I originally built the first version of this costume for a Halloween party because I'm like, might as well do it. And then my wife and I, we had recently had a baby, so we wanted a little family thing that we could start doing more at home and things like that and then go out together. So we decided to actually start cosplaying, as I mentioned to her before about it, we're both entertainers and we kind of wanted to do something more artistic. So we decided to start doing that in November. I built that costume then. This was mostly duct tape and things, but it looked really good. I was like, for a guy that knows nothing, that's really, really good. And then I met a guy, I'll give him a shout out. I met a guy down in the Delaware area. He does Deadpool a lot. Topher Lawrence. I talked to him, I looked at his arm, I'm like, hey, what is that? And he was like, oh, this is something called EVA foam. And I started learning about craft, and that's where I started upgrading the suit, and then it's just become what you've seen here today. Yeah.
So you said this was foam?
Yes, this is all foam. I mean, obviously there's some spandex and stuff like that here, PVC. But yeah, this is made out of EVA foam, which is a big part of cosplay craft. We use it because it's easily moldable. You can do a lot of details in it, like you can see. You can do a lot of detail work. There's a lot of tricks with it. It reacts well with the heat, so it allows you to mold things. That's how I was able to make the boots and curve around my legs. These come in flat sheets, so you have to work with them. But they're easy to work with materials. There's other materials, but this is one of them that we use.
So you said this wasn't your first outfit. What was your first one?
My first was Asuma Saratobi. I am cleanly shaven right now for this for Sid Highwind. Actually, is another cosplay I'm doing this weekend. But I was originally Asuma, and I always kind of. You could see it in his eyes and his face, and it just resembled it so much. So it was one of those cosplays. Hey, Dex, you should do Asuma. I had the chin strap and everything, and it was just kind of my demeanor. And I was like, yeah, okay, I'll do it. And I did it once for AnimeNext. Actually, was my first con ever. I think it was back in 2013. Back when I was playing cards, I was actually a strategy gamer. And I decided one year I'm like, you know what? I want to cosplay. So I built Asuma for Halloween, like I did this one, and I decided to go bring it to AnimeNext the next year. And then that's why I'm here this year, because I wanted to see the new location and stuff like that. And now I'm back in the Masquerade. I'll be doing the Masquerade for Gambit tonight during their thing.
So, you were talking about how this is like one of your dream outfits, but if from now, once you gain more skills, what is kind of like the pinnacle of what you would want to do as a cosplayer?
Well, see, that's a hard question to ask, because I know that a lot of my skills, the fact that I've only been in 6 months, there's a lot of techniques, and I've seen the techniques. That requires a lot of money, sometimes a lot of investment. I mean, to work with foam was a small investment compared to what I could do. But, there's tools involved and there's materials involved. Obviously, I would probably want to get something, it would look really nice with a resin cast, but I want flexibility because, again, I don't just cosplay, I like to entertain. So I spin this bow staff, I throw cards, and I speak with a Cajun accent. I want to be able to do these things, and I need the flexibility. So I would probably want to create myself something similar to this, but not be this hard plastic material. I have some flexibility, but I'd really rather have that be more of a cloth. But again, that's something that would take a lot of time and a lot of skills to do. Being that I actually am trying to make my own stuff because I want to improve myself as an entertainer, and costume craft is one of those things in theatrics, and having knowledge of how to create wardrobe and things like that. My wife is actually learning right alongside me. She's doing the sewing, I'm doing the armor crafting and the prop crafting. So kind of working as a team, and we're kind of teaching each other things. So, but this is something that's only going to make us better.
Awesome. So you mentioned that you just recently had a child, which congratulations. But any plans on like going out with baby as like a cosplay family?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. We've already actually started to do that. It's very difficult. He's only a year and a half. Our family teased us. We had decided on 2 names. We wanted to name him Xander or Xavier. We chose Xavier only because of family issues and things. So, we chose Xavier, and then, several people wanted to tease us because of the fact that I loved Gambit and X-Men so much that I named him after Charles Xavier, which was not the case. But we decided to get revenge on everybody, and the first costume we put him in was a Charles Xavier. We dressed his stroller up as like his wheelchair and things, and so it was really nice. Here this weekend, he is cosplaying always as a third member of our family. He's always going to be the third member, and as long as he wants to do it. We were doing a Final Fantasy VII group. He's cosplaying as a duo with my wife being the big Moogle and him being the cat. They're a team kind of thing, if you know that particular fandom. Obviously we do a lot of Naruto. We really appreciate Naruto. As an Asuma cosplayer, I eventually got her to do Kurenai, and we have our baby as little baby Mirai, their baby that happens that Asuma never sees. But we make people cry with that routine sometimes.
It's really awesome. Cool. So, what's some advice that you would give to beginner cosplayers who are a little hesitant on getting started?
There's actually I am still in that stage, and I know what it's like, so I could sit here for hours and talk to them about that. But I guess the best thing is that I've started, and I still am a budget cosplayer. If I can find something that I can modify and work with and make it look still, because I really want my costume to look official as I can do it. But if I can make it, I'll make it. If I can modify something and it's cheaper and it looks exactly what I need, I'm going to do that. Don't be afraid to closet play. But just because you're closet playing doesn't mean it has to look like a cosplay. Play. If you want to put effort into it, you can put effort to it. Anybody can do it. I have my Asuma's complete closet play. I made upgrades later. You don't have to do this phone crap. This was complete closet play when I first did this. If you want to see it, you can go on my site, DexB Entertainment. It's on Facebook. You can look up the old suit and see it was duct tape. This part was a polo shirt, and it still looks really, really well. This is something that you just have to open your mind and be creative, and don't be afraid. And don't be afraid to ask for advice and ask for questions, because sometimes things are easier than you think they are. This mask, I was sitting here fretting over forever, and I was sitting here trying to cut up a ski mask and all this stuff when I first started, thinking, I'm going to have to spend $50 on this special mask. And I called up the store, and I was like, oh yeah, $16 for a motorcycle face mask, you cut a T in it and you're good. Oh, that's great. I wish I would have known that, and I'm sitting here sweating over it. Don't sweat over it. Just use your imagination. Look through yard sales. Don't go out if you're gonna closet play. If you're gonna choose characters that you can. First, you want to start out with characters that you can feasibly do and you want to do. It really depends why you're cosplaying. Really, if you're cosplaying for fun, who cares? That you're doing it because you love the character. If you want to get wows and you want to wow people and you really want to get involved in that, then then you can do that, with very little money and very little experience. You just have to have the drive to do it, and you have to have the creative eye. Go out to yard sales, go out to thrift stores. You can find pieces you can modify. You can find ways of doing something. If you can't sew, glue it. Granted, your cosplays aren't going to be as good, but you're still going to be enjoying the craft, and you're going to amaze yourself with things that you can do.
And speaking of out of closet and things like that, so this jacket, was this something you already had?
Now we're talking about here. Okay, I know I'm rambling like, oh, he makes it sound so easy, but look at this guy. No, the jacket was very expensive, not going to lie. I actually had, but this is a perfect example. The jacket was probably the most difficult part, as well as the abs. This was something I found in a yard sale for like $10. It was black. I had to bust my butt, trying to seal it and paint it and everything like that. The jacket itself, where am I going to find a leather jacket? Where am I going to find a trench coat? I wanted a leather trench coat. I went to a store called Unique, which is found around Jersey in a couple places, and maybe outside of Jersey. And they, at wintertime, another tip, look for these pieces in season, because if you don't, you're going to regret it. I spent $30 on a blue turtleneck for my Asuma because I got it in summertime. I had to go to a designer store, and when I could have gotten it for like $2 at a dollar store during winter, But you go, I went to Unique and I found a leather jacket, a real leather jacket, probably valued at about $500 for $20. This is not make-believe, okay? Unique is an amazing store. I use it a lot. That's my trade secret. But after a while, I wanted to do showcases and I wanted to be able to move. So my wife, for my birthday, wound up getting me this coat, and it was specially designed for me to be able to have flexibility in my arms, to be able to throw, to be able to spin the bow behind my back, over my head. The suit's already hard enough. I didn't need a jacket getting in the way. So, but yeah, this you can find pieces if you want to spend money and you really find a character. This is something that I'm not going to spend money on a costume like that. I'm going to make it, because that's half of the fun of doing this, is making the costumes or having somebody help you make it and learning. But this is a character that I'm going to be cosplaying probably for the rest of my life, or as long as I cosplay, because I love this character so much. So I wanted to have something a little official. This is no longer like, I don't want to get into contests. I just want to, do shows and do videos and things like that. This is something that I want to do. So, you can. There's a lot of places out there and a lot of people that you can get commission pieces for you.
Awesome. So while we're running, I'm going to go back there, but do you want to do a little demonstration of your bow staff?